lighting is picking up here.
It's a little, forget a camp out, it's a smoke out. Clearly I'm on the wrong side of the fire. We're Mika and Reggie, camping newbies intrigued by the RV lifestyle. He's the concrete camper
Who loves concrete pads, manicured lawns, and beautiful views.
and I'm the concrete glamper. I love campsite decor, and more is more. On the weekends, we've moved from the couch to camping. And as Southerners, we always tow our hospitality and charm as we chase the sun, sand, and sea.
In our RV.
This is very fine. It may be a brisk 45 degrees outside, but the sun is shining, and that means the RV season continues. This time we are headed for a new experience. Can't wait to show you. Headed to check in at the trading post. The beauty of coming here in the off season, that the parking lot is empty. So that's $5. The beauty of camping in off season, that there is no one here. All right, we're all set.
You said what? 76?
Well, that's a good sign that the have a gate access and limit the access.
That's to this
41 straight ahead. Good morning. Although brisk start to the day, that is Lake Allatoona in the distance. It was a very restful and quiet night. There is no one around us. We'll essentially have this section to ourselves. It's gonna be another beautiful fall day. Oh, look in the distance. You can see a deer. Reggie is busy at work, all work and no play right now, but he is also enjoying a fantastic view of the lake. I mean, that should help you focus, right?
Actually, it's doing the opposite. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's nice to be able to work with a lake view. So, can't get this at home or in my office. So,
Is it making you more creative? Inspiring thoughts?
It's motivating me. It's motivating. So, I want to motivate, stay focused, get what I need to get done so I can go out and enjoy the view.
Lovely. Keep it going. Stay focused.
You're quite the distraction now.
And I'll take you down to one of the tent sites that's located by us. This is an area that, of course, they don't allow RVs. It's just tent camping because you can see it's very narrow. But the views are so pretty. Look how beautiful the lake is this time of year. It's a little breezy, but not too bad. I'll take you down. And again, full hookups. This is one of the renovated sites. So that's the full hookups or partial hookups. Definitely water and electricity. And then this is the view. Very pretty. And then you look back up and that's our site. Heavy tree canopy and gravel, of course. But I would imagine if you're into tent camping, this is a pretty nice spot. And oh, this is the parking section. Okay, that makes sense. And then, oh, look at that. So there's another site. So this is the street. But just look how beautiful that is. I mean, this is a quintessential fall day in the South, in Georgia. And as beautiful as this is, sadly, it's a little chilly for our normal temperatures. So this is a section that they warn you do not bring any rigs through at the top of the hill because extremely narrow. And these are, I guess this would be a walk-in site. One up here. But very pretty for a walk-in site. I could see if you are a tent camper, this is for you. This is site 46, and this is again renovated so that it has water and electricity. Just look how pretty the lake is. It's actually dropped below the summer levels because it's of course maintained by the Army Corps of Engineers, but still pretty to look at. And the way that the sun is glistening is just really nice. For a new adventure in a state park, it's by water and the views are fantastic. So the terrain lives up to its namesake of Red Top Mountain because it does have some very interesting, I should say interesting, it has some hilly terrain throughout the various levels of the park. You have to definitely be in shape to hike in on this location. It is an incline. Whew. Get your steps in. But as you can see, we are all here by ourselves, other than the rustling of the leaves associated with the squirrels and occasional deer sighting. Whew. I'm out of breath. It's time to take a break. So don't judge me because I know how this sounds, but one of the things I do appreciate about being at a resort is that you don't have to dump your own trash. In this situation, you have to go to the trash area to dump. Not a big deal. You can throw it out on your way out, but nothing beats just walking to the edge of your campsite and just dropping your trash and someone picks it up for you. Just saying. This is sunset. Have some campers getting an up-close view of the lake as well. Looking for the positives in this new camping experience. Not very hard to find. It's just a different type of camping, but one that I certainly can appreciate. And I think for my sake and for Reggie's sake, because it is cooler temperatures, it makes a difference in the experience. I think we would have a different reaction if it was 80 degrees outside and humid, but you have a different appreciation in cool weather. I find myself walking up yet another hill. So if you are planning to visit Red Top, you will be faced with a lot of hilly terrain. May not be the best for bike riding. Electric bikes, you're completely fine. And walking, you can maneuver it. But as you can hear, you'll be a little bit out of breath. But still, it is a large park, so you can get your steps on. Exciting! Is this your first fire of the season or your second?
Second.
Do you have a strategy for building a fire?
Fire starter. Those are key. And just making sure the wood kind of just do it as an X or a T, so it just has room to breathe. Hopefully it'll catch. So we'll see.
Well, it was peaceful until someone decided to bring their rambunctious little pups.
I left them at home.
So it's not us. So first complete day down at Red Top Mountain.
Into the woods we went.
And here we are. We said that we were going to return through your urging. Remember, Mr. Positivity?
I'm willing to go ahead and explore it. It's a cool place to come get back to nature. I'm willing to open, broaden my horizons, look at some different things. I remember, it's not a problem. I mean, we're here, right? So everybody was like, hey, you do it, you should do it. So we're doing it.
I had a walk around. It's, as I was saying, it's a different type of camping, but one that I can appreciate, and I can see why people are attracted to it in some aspects of it.
I mean, this is cool. I mean, the views are nice. Our site is, what site are we in? 41? 81?
41. We're in site 41.
Site 41, it's a pull through. But it sits right off the lake view, which is pretty awesome in itself. So, oh no, it's cool. I mean, it's nice. It gives you time to kind of just chill out, reflect, and not unfortunately, I had to work today, so I had a normal working day. So now I'm finally outside, and no, it's nice. It's about 50 degrees.
But you had a work day with a beautiful view.
Okay, but it's still a work day. So, but all in all, it is nice. The upgrades that they did here are working out well. The only thing about Site 41 for us with our rig is the fact that it's a pull through, but with our slides, as well as just our hose connections and sewer connections, it kind of didn't work out well. So when I say that, it flip around. If I would have gotten more centered or came over to the other side, I still had to contend with the post itself. So if I'm the back of the rig, then I would have had to make sure, I wanted to make sure I didn't have the slides come out and touch the grill, or it would have pretty much been, slides would have been right about where this wood line is.
And we didn't want that.
Yeah, and it would have been just kind of walking up against, the rig, and that's, that's no fun. So, we made the best decision. So it's working out right now. But again, as this being a pull through, I would have thought they would want you kind of more centered, which makes sense. But that's still a heck of a run to go, even if I would have gotten, back another 10 feet. Well, I still got to run all the way to the back of the rig to where that rock is.
Yeah, and I think that's
a long run for sewer.
I think more than anything, they knew that how people like to camp and RV now, that there's an expectation of full hookups.
Right.
And it was better to, provide the option without having to completely reconfigure the site.
Yeah.
And let's just make do with what we have. So I think that's probably it more than anything, where, again, we typically go to the newer resorts or folks who their primary guests are RVers, where they're a little bit more strategic. And this was just, hey, we're providing this offering to you. And it's better to have than not have.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I just gotta work with it. But typically, you all know, when you get to your power station, your dump
is right there.
Is somewhere within that closer vicinity. I mean, we're talking about, another 10 feet to 12 feet away from the power station. So it is what it is. We'll make good of it. It's all good for the experience. But so far, it was pretty quiet last night, and now people seem to be arriving. There's quite a few tent campers here, which is pretty cool to see that.
And this is an example of folks getting turned around and not advisable and having to maneuver at night.
And they don't have it lit up for your numbers. That's the problem too. So if you don't get here during the day, the way you find your number is a piece of paper.
Oh yeah,
fact,
there's on the stand.
On the stand. So.
And the map is not to scale.
Correct. So get here during the day, guys. It's the best way to do it.
I can speak firsthand of how dark it really does get at night. I came in, it was only about 7 o'clock, but because of the time of year, it gets dark early. And on the main street there are street lights. But once I came into this camping spot, I did not have any street lights, and I was relying completely on the headlights from the truck. Thankfully, I was aware of where I was and knew very clearly of where I was going. But definitely, if this is your first time coming to the state park, especially in an RV, it gets really tricky. There's a lot of blind spots. There's a lot of narrow streets, and the signage.
Do we have the gate code?
Yes, right there.
Sorry.
And the signage is not the best, especially in the dark. And so if you take nothing else away from this experience, regardless of how you like to camp, if at all possible, I would not recommend coming in here after dark. Yes, this is a great example of how tight things are. You have our RV coming in. Luckily, we are in a good spot that will give them some courtesy and go off the road. So this is one of the many boating lunch points that they have. As you can see, someone's getting ready to go out.
So mountain living, luxury living. See those houses?
Oh, that is beautiful.
Mountain living. Those are nice.
I can only imagine the views from up there.
Yeah.
So you've seen us come in. This is the bridge that you come over to access the park. It's a little scary because it is very narrow.
Well, they even tell you coming over it, narrow bridge, so we've been lucky so far to just come over the bridge and no one coming in our other direction. So we'll see when we leave if we get that same luck.
Yeah, but it's a little, when I drove it by myself, it was a little scary. It was a little intense, as they say.
Pucker factor went up?
Just a little bit.
Someone's making some waves today.
right. Hi ho, hi ho. Back to the rig we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. We're doing things a little bit differently this morning in terms of setting up and ready to go. We're hooked up, attached. However, we're not quite ready to pull out. Reggie had to attach because remember we mentioned that the hookups are far away. And so we now need to push back to dump our black and gray tanks before we completely pull off. So not the normal routine, because you know checklist and order is very important to just being safe and making sure that you're doing things properly. But it's just one of those things that you have to do and pivot and adjust when you're RVing. Again, not ideal. Not ideal.